Welcome to the movie highlights. This is The Walking Dead: Dead City Season 2. It's been a quiet few months for Maggie and her teenage son Herschel, and Ginny, the girl Negan was taking care of last season. They're living in a decent settlement in Long Island called the Bricks, which is technically part of the New Babylon Federation. Today, they're recruiting for a mission to take the island of Manhattan, led by good guy Marshal Pearlie Armstrong. Unfortunately, they're not recruiting so much as instituting a mandatory draft. Anyone who refuses is hanged. Pearlie wants Maggie to join since she has experience in the big city. To protect the people of the Bricks, Maggie makes a deal. She'll go. In exchange, they don't draft anyone else from here. To see if she's really worth 20 people, they give her a test and make her fight a bunch of zombies. And yeah, Maggie's got that main character aura. She's worth infinite extras. Meanwhile, in New York, it's our old friend Negan, who's been in prison for a while. Remember, he's being recruited by the Croat who's secretly working for weird theater lady, the Dama. She needs Negan's main character aura to unite all the gangs on Manhattan. This whole time, he's been refusing her, but now she's family. Yeah, remember he has a wife and kid? So the Dama hosts a meeting with the two other gangs, and Negan agrees to be her leading man. He puts back on his Negan persona, yes, with the baseball bat, the leather jacket. The Croat made some upgrades to this new Lucille. Yeah, electrified the barbed wire. So Negan is pretty convincing, but even more convincing is that this gang has methane. Yeah, remember the Croat, a chemical engineer, has figured out a way to use decomposing zombies to make electricity. And turns out the methane power plant is the real reason New Babylon's coming here. Everything else is expendable. But the Dama knows they're coming. She apparently has a spy on this side of the river that lit the big signal fire to warn her. Just then, young Herschel shows up. Hey mom, I want to come too to protect you. And Ginny is tagging along too. She wants to kill Negan now after he told her that he killed her real dad. So Mama's day out in the big city is turning into a babysitting trip. Maggie tries to warn New Babylon the Croat knows they're coming, but dumb bad Marshal lady obviously doesn't listen to her. So as they're crossing the river, the Croat's ready with zombies filled with methane and a big cannon that launches explosive zombie bombs. The New Babylon survivors regroup, head into Central Park, but it's a dangerous place because Central Park is overgrown and all the zombies can pop out of the grass at you. They find shelter at a settlement in here with a whole bunch of hippie people that live in harmony with the zombies. In fact, when they die, they don't stab you in the head to keep you from turning. They let you turn to live out a happy zombie afterlife. Maggie's like, look, this mission's over, right? But dumb bad Marshal lady's not leaving without that methane. Even though it's a whole factory, it's not something they could just bring back. Meanwhile, Negan is trying to recruit one of the other gangs. This one lives in an art museum and its leader dresses like a villainous mayor in an old western. This gang loves zombie gladiator fights and they got one big zombie who always wins. To convince him to join their alliance, they wager it on a zombie fight, but Negan picks a small zombie and oils him up real good. So, well, he's all slippery, but when Big Zombie gets stuck on the fence, Negan sees he's a living human. So Negan helps him out and lets him win, but he uses the secret to blackmail this guy, so he's happy to join the Dama. Maggie and Burley were out scouting, and she saw Negan here, so she sneaks in to have a chat. Yes, Maggie and Negan reunited. It's like, hey, we're kind of friends, right? Can you help me get the methane? Sorry, Mags, I would love to, but the Dama's got my family. When they get back to Central Park, New Babylon's taken over. Yes, bad Marshal lady has gone full villain and claimed this territory for New Babylon. Maggie goes to just kill her, but Ginny comes out on her side. They had a chat where she was like, yeah, kid, I support you killing Negan, so here, have a gun. So Maggie is going to be hanged, but all the Central Park hippies start zombie moaning super weirdly, which sends the zombies into a frenzy. They break down the gate. They all stand still. I guess they're happy to be eaten. And the New Babylon troops forget how to fight zombies. Bad Marshal is trying to escape, but she forgets to look where she's going, and oh, she gets eaten too. Meanwhile, Negan's recruiting the second gang, and this guy's a real bad dude. Except turns out he's a huge softie who's taking care of a bunch of kids. Yes, it's just like that classic scene where the tough gang was taking care of the old people from when The Walking Dead was actually good. So Negan tries to befriend this guy, but the Croat doesn't like him, and oh, he had a plan: leak the methane. The whole gang is killed. Now the Dama's really mad at the Croat. She wanted to recruit them, and Negan tries to stir the pot. Hey man, don't let her talk to you that way, but when he goes to confront her, she's furious because she thinks he killed her pet rat. Girl, I didn't kill your rat, but oh, she bites him. They have a huge fight, he pushes her. Somehow a fire starts and he leaves the Dama to die. Turns out, of course, it was Negan who killed her pet rat. Yeah, he pitted them against each other. Soon, the Croat finds out, so he attacks Negan with new Lucille, which is, of course, a terrible idea. Negan beats him easily, so the Croat is banished, and Negan becomes the leader of this gang for real. His wife and kid were on their way here, but instead of taking them and leaving, Negan decides to have them sent away because he decides, I guess, he's bad for them. Now, Maggie and Pearlie are taken prisoner by evil old Western mayor guy. He wants to make a deal to join New Babylon, take over the methane operation, and be the mayor of New York City. Maggie doesn't trust this guy. She's like, hey, we should work with Negan instead, but that starts a big fight with her son, Herschel. God, Mom, if you love Negan so much, why don't you marry him? Yeah, this kid is just the worst. And turns out he's even worse than we thought, because when he was the Dama's prisoner, she, befriended him because she liked his art. Yes, it was Herschel who lit the signal fire. Just then, their fight is rudely interrupted by a zombie bear who got in somehow. Maggie tries to fight it, totally ineffectually, but she lucks out when it kills itself. In the chaos, Herschel ran off to go be with his new mama, the Dama. Maggie tries to follow him, but finds out the Dama's dead. Meanwhile, Ginny tracked down Negan. Yeah, she's gonna shoot him, but then she remembers she actually likes him, and also, she passes out because she's been injured for 5 episodes and didn't tell anybody. To find meds for her, Negan goes to a hospital where there's a pediatric ward full of, zombie kids that I guess don't attack you if you don't touch them. But now he finds his wife and kid, but turns out he's hallucinating them. Yes, it's just like when Rick was hallucinating his dead wife, Lori, in the worst episode of When the Walking Dead was good. With the Dama dead, Maggie finds the Croat who has an idea where Herschel might be. He's at the top of a big skyscraper with a part that had fallen over to make a glass bridge. And this is where Maggie learns she has a debilitating fear of heights. When a zombie attacks, they fall down, and oh no, now the glass is cracking, but she's too scared to move. But the Croat helps her out, and it's okay. Anyway, turns out he was lying. Herschel's not here. He just wanted Maggie to get mad and kill him. Instead, the two characters have a heartfelt conversation. He turns out to be a decent person after all, and they make plans to return to Croatia by boat. Crossing the ocean during such uncertain times seems nearly impossible, but if Daryl managed it, maybe they can too. Just then, Maggie notices a flashlight blinking from a window, a secret signal that only she and Herschel used to share. It could mean only one thing, but as it turns out, the signal was meant to bring her there for a surprise meeting with Adama, who is alive and had quietly disappeared on purpose. Adama asks Maggie to join her, and after an emotional talk with Herschel, Maggie agrees. But there's one condition. To prove her trust, she must finally confront Negan. The final sequence begins with both groups coming together, though both intend to outsmart the other. Earlier, Negan shared a story about tricking another group using a clever tactic, but this time the plan is different. Beneath the meeting table, he has quietly placed a group of hidden walkers. As the doors are secured and chaos begins, the rival group finds themselves surrounded. But they too came prepared. They had hidden tools inside a nearby statue, allowing the Western mayor figure to escape. He chases Negan to the lower level, only to realize he's now outmatched. Negan places him and Pearlie in a position to make a final choice. Though the decision seems aimed at Pearlie, Negan chooses otherwise. He uses ventilation gas and heat from a nearby source to create a trap, disabling the mayor without confrontation. Then, he finishes things with a symbolic strike using a bat, a reminder of past events that Maggie still remembers. Just as Negan considers acting against Pearlie, Maggie appears. She quietly steps in and stops him. She lifts the bat, torn between choices, but when she sees the grief in Negan's eyes, she pauses. He's mourning, realizing Ginny couldn't be saved despite all his efforts. So Maggie remembers that she and Negan are actually kind of friends now, and once again decides not to kill him. Herschel is very disappointed. God, Mom, you love Negan so much. Maggie's like, look, son, I love you always, but if you want to hang out with Adama for a while, do what you gotta do. So Maggie and Negan are reunited, deciding to be friends again. Probably just friends, but with how often they almost kill each other, they might be setting up an enemies to lovers romance. Marshal Pearlie decides to hang around as their third wheel because New Babylon is maybe kind of the bad guys. And just then, they arrive in force to take over the methane lab and conquer New York City. And that's where The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2 comes to an end. If you like this highlights, hit that subscribe button for more of the best movies and seasons highlights.